This is how to teach social studies and history TV style debates. I find TV debates really annoying. As a social studies teacher, I find cable news debates annoying because too often both sides aren't really trying to find the truth, but rather just skew the debate in their favor at all costs. The idea behind a debate is supposed to be if each side presents their best legitimate defense, the greater the chance to find the best policy or the highest truth. That's what debates are supposed to be about, but that's not really what they're about on cable TV. But what if we can take something awful and turn it into something productive for students that requires critical thinking skills and will help them digest information better? So here's the method. It's a TV style debate. Number one, take a historical event where two sides conflicted in some way. Divide the class into media representatives of those two groups. Number two is explain the concept of a TV style debate. In this kind of debate, your job is to skew the truth as much as possible for your side without outright lying. The example I give to make a metaphor for my students to get them the skill that they actually are already probably pretty good at. Your curfew is at 9 p.m. and you came home at 9:08. Were you late? And the example answer, I came home at the 9 p.m. hour. Notice how the student isn't actually lying, they're skewing the truth. Number three, the students read and take notes in their big groups aloud to each other. Number four, as the students read, they need to spin their notes on the event in their group's favor. Again, a loss in battle becomes something like a minor skirmish where the opposition only won through cheap ambush tactics, while a win for the other side becomes a major achievement against a much stronger foe, a stunning upset. Everybody can agree on the basic things that happen, but their skew or their spin on it is where the debate is going to happen. And number five, have a scored oral debate. Introduce a series of topics on the board that relate to the event that's going on. You want to break that event into digestible chunks. Have the groups take turns spinning that event. For each event, have them debate until you feel satisfied that the students know what really happened and that you're confident you know who spun the event better. Give the winner on that topic a point, and the group who spun the most events in their favor at the end of the period wins. And during these debates, you want to penalize outright lies. Spinning is okay, but outright counterfactual statements are not. And here's a little example: Concord in the American Revolution. So as the students are taking notes, both groups are going to take notes on Concord. They're going to read a small little blurb on Concord, and then they have to use their critical thinking skills to give these kind of answers. So when the American group is reading, and of course you can help them develop these kind of arguments, when the Americans are reading about Concord, they could say, at Concord, the Americans used their God-given right to bear arms, which would later become the valued Second Amendment to the United States Constitution, to engage in self-defense against the oppressive British Army, which had already proven to be willing to kill innocent American civilians like they did in the Boston Massacre. So Concord is all about self-defense. Americans are getting their God-given, right to bear arms to protect themselves against an oppressive and murderous army. Notice how the student didn't lie there. Everything they said is just spin. It's not counterfactual. And the other group could say something like Concord was a terrorist arms catch. American terrorists were storing weapons there in an obvious plan to commit treason and overthrow the government. The Army has every right to seize weapons from known traitors and to arrest them for the security of all English citizens. This is just an anti-terrorist act. Concord is very clear. The English know where terrorists are keeping their guns, and they're going to take them away. What's the problem with that? So the English are the good guys here, and then it would be your job to compare these two statements, and you're kind of play the moderator in that TV debate, and you're going to say which one of these two arguments would be better, and you're going to score it before you move on to the next topic.